What I would like to get out of this course is a change of identity and not the facade that I've been living for so long.
I was just listening to what he was talking about. I just look at the other side. I see my mother outside. I see my younger brother. And I see myself like, nah, I can't fall. I'm gonna pick my feet up and stand up for myself. I'm not just gonna let this place, just put me down like I'm nobody.
12 weeks from now, I was thinking about being able to have that ability to be able to love myself.
The appropriate name, it's an appropriate name, House of Healing, because when we heal, our whole family heals. Our children, our mothers, our grandparents, our brothers, because when our family can see us doing good, then they can smile and that gives them incentive to do good.
Have you ever thought about volunteering in a prison or a jail? That thought had never crossed my mind until one day after a public talk that I was giving on the topic of anger and resentment, a woman came up to me and said she taught in a prison in Massachusetts and would love me to come in to address the class. She hooked me up with the psychologist and he said to me, I don't know whether you'll get more than 2 or 3 or 4 people to come in to hear you. But I had agreed to do it, and when I arrived at the room in the prison at 9 o'clock in the morning where the talk was to begin, there were 120 men waiting for me to begin. When he saw the response, he said, would you come and teach a course, not just give a one-time talk? I agreed and limited the group to 16 men. And at the end of the second week of the course, I just knew that this was something I was going to be doing for the long term because I loved it. I had just finished my first book, Forgiveness, A Bold Choice for a Peaceful Heart, and I thought maybe there's another book to be written to bring the spirit and content of this emotional literacy work to prisoners across the United States. Today, there are about 130,000 copies in circulation in prisons and jails across the country. The project came to be known as the National Emotional Literacy Project for Prisoners. In addition to the book, I wrote a facilitator's manual for facilitating a 13-session course based on Houses of Healing. Social workers, therapists, chaplains, retired school teachers, and anyone who deeply resonated with the material began to volunteer to teach Houses of Healing in prisons and jails. Many people have said that facilitating the Houses of Healing course has been the most, or one of the most, meaningful experiences they have ever had.
I've been teaching Houses of Healing about 12 years. The Houses of Healing curriculum is one of the most exciting curriculums I have ever had the opportunity to work with. It is unbelievably powerful and profound, and yet to follow it is so easy.
And the first time you walk in, it's a little scary. You feel daunted. Who are these folks that I'm going to be working with? And in the end, 8 or 9 years later, here I am.
The opportunity opened up and people came to me, and I thought I was going to have to create some way of getting in the prisons and banging down doors, and lo and behold, it's already being done.
Wow, on a scale of 1 to 10, how meaningful has the experience been? Maybe 100. I'm serious. I mean, I get more out of it than they do.
This will sound cliche, but I would tell a prospective Houses of Healing volunteer that you will be changed more and impacted more than the men that you work with or the women that you work with.
What I would tell a prospective Houses of Healing facilitator is do it, because you will benefit 100 times over. Not only will you learn the material, which itself is worth $1 million, but you'll walk away feeling like you've made a difference in the world.
I would tell a prospective Houses of Healing facilitator that if this is something that sounds at all interesting, say yes, because it comes back 1,000-fold.
Volunteers who facilitate the Houses of Healing program often play a pivotal role in altering the life course of the men and women that they work with. Houses of Healing is a mindfulness-based, research-driven program with a heavy dose of hopefulness.
I was involved in the streets. I sold drugs and I gang-banged a lot. And the end result was I killed the individual. I hurt a lot of families. I hurt a lot of people, you know, and I didn't think about that. I didn't think about the ripple effect it would cause someone else.
I was in juvenile system for 11 months, and then I was transferred to an adult facility at the age of 17. From that first moment of who am I, it was like I tipped my foot into it, and then I dived right in. And when I came up for air, it was like, wow, look, this class is gonna help me find me.
Had I not shown up for Houses of Healing, then the relationship between me and my son wouldn't be how it is right now, because I would still have that anger. I would still have that resentment for a lot of things. You know, I still would show blame for things that I took, I always blamed others for, never took responsibility for. To see my change now, it's like they cannot believe it. You know, my family is so happy for me. They like the fact that I'm out here, I'm working, I got my own car, my own apartment, and I'm doing well, and they're very proud of me.
The Lionheart Foundation is now offering a free online prison volunteer training program that I invite you to participate in. It is for people who have done some self-reflection themselves, who believe in the dignity of all human beings, and who are comfortable working with groups. If you are a social worker or a psychologist or another type of mental health worker, continuing education units are offered for participating in this online training. As so many Houses of Healing volunteers have said, in facilitating the Houses of Healing program, they receive so much more than they give. Thank you for joining me.